Under Egypt's West Desert, archaeologists discovered something inexplicable, a sealed staircase carved far into bedrock, untouched for centuries. Unlike other tombs or temples we've experienced, this stairway goes down into darkness, and it's never been opened. Rumors say it contains ritual chambers, forgotten dynasties, or something even older than the pharaohs themselves. Officials have dubbed it a closed area, but secrecy only sparks rumor. Why is it closed up? Why does its mystery persist? To comprehend this mystery, one has to venture beyond the overt stone steps and into the multifaceted history, the speculations, and the technologies that encase this bizarre site. If this kind of story touches your heart, if you're someone who cares about truth, responsibility, and speaking up for the voiceless, please like this video, subscribe to our channel Spark Science, and share it with someone who should hear it. Let's get started. The desert's buried decline commences not with an elevated monument or shiny relic, but with silence, a stretch of desert where the sand blows ceaselessly across rock peaks. To the passerby tourist, the western rim of the Nile Plateau at Abu Rawash appears nothing more than desolate wasteland, its sun-scorched horizons punctuated by only rubble. Behind that blinding stillness, however, is a gouged plunge into darkness, a set of steps hewn deep into the rock face, and an enigma that has engendered speculation for over a decade. The edifice itself is minimalist in appearance. Picture coming upon the plateau and seeing not an elaborate entrance with sculpted lintels but a gaping trench in the rock. Its sides are clean and purposeful, cut directly into the bedrock as if someone in the distant past had wanted to create a deliberate gateway downwards. The steps are started wide and shallow, meant to facilitate the descent, but then they incrementally constrict, sloping steeply into a path that compels even the most vigilant of visitors to proceed slowly, nearly intentionally. Those who have been able to look down report the stone as worn but not broken, every step eroded by years but not obliterated. At the bottom, where daylight doesn't reach, is the real room of mystery, a vertical shaft filled with debris and stagnant water. And beyond that, nobody knows. Sealed is the way archaeologists label it, but this sealing does not imply what one would imagine of an apparent slab covering the entrance. Sealed, in this instance, means that anything on the other side has never been excavated, never entered, never documented. Either the shaft merely terminates in rubble, or it contains a concealed entrance, perhaps to deeper chambers below. Without digging, the reality lies in darkness. The staircase initially gained international attention from fragments of news. Amateur adventurers chanced upon it years ago, taking shaky footage of the trench and its vertiginous plunge. These clips became viral on the internet, igniting bitter argument over whether the discovery was true or just an old abandoned quarry. Slowly, scientists, self-employed journalists, and adventurous visitors collected more proof. Drone video uncovered the full staircase extending deeper than anyone could have imagined. Photos showed eerie accuracy, walls smoothed roughly evenly around. But with official reporting thin, the Egyptian government labeled the location off-limits, adding to an already dense cloud of secrecy. To outsiders, the notion of a sealed staircase undisturbed for millennia evokes visions of golden riches, lost dynasties, or secret tombs hidden away in darkness. To skeptics, it can be just as readily dismissed as a working shaft, perhaps a well, perhaps the edge of a quarried-out spire that fell out of use. But what makes the descent so intriguing is not what we do know, it is what we don't. As opposed to the Giza pyramids, where burial chambers and inscriptions provide us with hints of purpose, this staircase is silent. No hieroglyphics. No carvings. No offerings. Simply steps, stone, and silence. And at times, silence is loudest. Egyptologists cannot agree on its significance. Some say it is associated with the nearby ruined pyramid of Djedefre, son of Khufu. Others suggest it can be traced back to an even earlier time, perhaps even prior to the pharaohs. Some brave theorists go further yet, speculating it could be linked to ritual passages representing the journey of the soul into the underworld. Whatever its design, the staircase has stood the test of sands for centuries. Wind has eroded it, water gnawed at its edges, but the steps endure, hewn with a persistence aimed at surviving time itself. In order to even begin to comprehend the staircase, we need to consider its context. Abu Ra'ash. Located approximately 8 kilometers north of Giza, Abu Ra'ash seems desolate at first glance, a stone plateau weathered by wind and littered with rubble. Still over 4,500 years ago, however, this location was selected by Pharaoh Djedefre, son of Khufu, as the location for his pyramid. Djedefre wanted to construct a monument equal to those of his father and brothers, but his pyramid did not last. Unlike the majestic perfection of the Great Pyramid of Khufu, Djedefre's pyramid was left in rubble, robbed of its stones, and quarried down until only a skeletal mound remained. Now, it appears like a fallen hill rather than a royal tomb. Yet beneath the ruin is a tale of ambition and destruction tied to the staircase mystery. Djedefre's pyramid building was different. While the pyramids of Giza were built from the desert sands up out of millions of blocks, Djedefre's construction incorporated a natural hill within its design, minimizing the amount of stone required while anchoring the monument to the geology below. This choice permitted the architects to cut passages, ramps, and substructures straight into the bedrock. A design like this makes it fully likely that the closed staircase is part of this great system, an incomplete or abandoned part. Archaeologists are still debating why Djedefre's pyramid was left in ruins. Some think that it was never finished because his reign was so brief. Others think that it was systematically destroyed by subsequent civilizations, its granite robbed to be used on other monuments. Scars of Roman-era quarrying mar the plateau, testifying to centuries of desecration. In this multi-layered history, the staircase could belong to any of a number of periods, Old Kingdom, Roman, or something in between. Abu Ra'ash was ignored for centuries. Tourists poured into Luxor and Giza, but Abu Ra'ash was still, its remains forgotten. That omission kept the staircase under the radar until grainy videos and mysterious photos pushed it into the spotlight. Early adventurers with point-and-shoot cameras recorded its plunge into darkness, the sharply etched walls, the careful steps, the unnerving emptiness where light had not. These photos went viral, spawning controversy. Shortly later, adventurers such as Antoine Gigel photographed and documented the location, commenting on its unaccustomed length and the exactness of its cuts. Her accounts attracted the first formal efforts to explain the staircase, but mainstream Egyptologists stayed mostly mum. That silence, along with limited access because of military occupation of the plateau, only served to encourage speculation. With the general availability of drones, the enigma grew. Drones captured the staircase in exquisite detail, following its clean geometry from above. It became apparent that this was no random quarry pit but a precisely crafted trench. But then the video proved the enigma as much as it did. Below was only blackness, debris, and stagnant water. No chamber could be seen, no solutions offered. The staircase appeared constructed to pique curiosity without completion. Why the accuracy for something so seemingly unfinished? From an engineering standpoint, the staircase demonstrates remarkable skill. Its trench is lined with vertical walls, cut in straight and smooth lines, with even steps that start wide and then constrict to a steep decline. This alteration of speed might have been constructed deliberately, maybe to decelerate those going down, as if to ceremonialize the trip. The walls themselves are astonishingly well preserved, with markings left by tools implying organized work and master craftsmanship. If it were just functional, why construct it with symmetry and attention to detail like this? At the bottom, the vertical shaft might just be blocked with centuries of trash, or it might have been intentionally closed to hide what is beneath. If closed on purpose, it might still encompass a chamber or passageway further in. Speculation runs rampant. Conventional archaeologists dispute that it was a Roman step well, cut to gain access to water. The chisel marks are more like those of iron tools than the copper chisels of the Old Kingdom. The Romans reused sites such as Abu Ra'ash's quarries, and step wells of this design can be found elsewhere. From this perspective, the stairway is functional, not magical. But other voices challenge this. Why cut such a big, time-consuming stairway for a straightforward well, when smaller ones could be used? Why the accuracy? Why the depth? Some think the staircase is aligned with celestial patterns, matching the angles of corridors in pyramids of the Old Kingdom. Others assert it duplicates ritual journeyings into the underworld.